So Jason kicked me out of the band.
Yeah.
And he hasn't found a new drummer for the show in March. He's gonna have a laptop drummer.
Yeah. It's funny because the GGD ad that they made super early on was they were prepping for a show and Matt's just in the bus thinking like, oh, what can I do tonight? You know, oh, we're gonna go to the venue. And when he showed up to the venue,
there's a laptop.
They're like, yeah, you're not in the band anymore. There's a laptop, and that's what happened. Sorry, man.
I've been demoted to cameraman.
Yeah, I'm sorry, man. Well, you're so good at filming. I'm like, well, you can't program a cameraman, but you can program a drummer. Previously, on our other demos, and even the stuff that we have on Spotify and online, we've been using MT Power Drum Kit 2. If you type in free drum plugin on Google, it's the first one that pops up. So that's what I've been using for 6 years. I found a way to, EQ it and make it sound like somewhat good. Now that we have this one show where we could have canceled the gig, but it's too good of a gig to cancel. I was like, yeah, I'll just program drums. And it's like, I can't play MT Power Drum Kit through a PA. It's gonna sound like trash. So for this one show, we got GGD. We're not sponsored by GGD, but
sponsor us.
I spent the last 2 weeks. If I didn't have a full-time job, it would have taken 3 days, but whatever. We reprogrammed all the drums, minus the cool fills, because you don't want to program your bandmates' solos. That's just disrespectful. There's even parts where there's supposed to be a cool drum fill that's isolated and it's just not programmed. So there's gonna be 13 seconds of just me being like that. To replace your drummer for one show is a lot of work. Kidding, Jesse's not kicked out of the band. What's the other thing that I have to learn for this show?
How to play guitar. I usually do all the setup of the in-ear monitor stuff.
Dude, he does everything.
So Jason's gonna have to learn. You're gonna have to learn all that.
If you're in a band and you think that writing music is all there is, you're wrong.
There's also shooting vlogs.
That's right. I know how to set this up. I know where these go. This is not ours. This is ours. I know where these go. But whenever you're at a show, the sound guy is always like, "Oh, do you have this?" And then I always go, "Wait, let me go get Jesse," as he's already busy doing something else. My stuff takes 2 seconds to set up, and he's running around grabbing all this stuff. And the sound guy asks me one question. I'm like, let me go get Jesse. And it's a 2-second thing, because I know nothing about this stuff. Right away, Jesse's noticing mistakes in what I did. Well, the click's in there.
2 different channels on the board.
Okay.
So we can mix them separately.
Oh, wow.
Fixed.
Hey!
Too much mids, maybe?
Well, I mean, it should be perfect. I just did turbo everything.
That'll sound pretty good.
Yeah.
Ears. Put your ears in and see.
Oh, they're already...
X5 in-ear packs.
BMW X5. The spot with no drum solo. Stand-up comedy, baby. Hey, Vancouver, good to be here. Good to be here. I should be able to just press play, and it should sound should work with the click or what?
Yes.
How easy is GGD to operate. It blows my mind.
Yeah, it's awesome.
Like that's like this isn't a GGD ad, but Instagram and YouTube is filled with people making those GGG demos. This is really where it matters, that those influencers won't tell you. I programmed the stuff over like 2 weeks, thinking, oh man, when we get to the jam space, it's probably gonna sound all off. And this is my first time using it, and everything doesn't even need to be dialed in.
Everything doesn't even need to be dialed in.
Words of wisdom. But it's crazy though. Like, and I'm so bad at tech, you know. It's like, oh, this will just be good. All I did is I just lowered the kick drum by 2 dB and the 13 other inputs by 1 dB, thinking this sounds good in my speakers, but it's probably going to be trash in real life, and turns out it's bang on.
Nice.
Dude.
Cool.
And that's why they drive McLarens. It's $100 per drum library. Dude, do you know how long it took me to get MT Power drum kit to sound somewhat real?
6 years?
Pretty much, yeah. It blows my mind. I can't believe the amount of work those guys put into this for it to just. And this is, you know, like it's pretty like weird metal. Like it's not the easiest thing to mix drums for. And this is probably just as easy to mix if you wanted to play country. Like to make a software that is that easy to run with anything. I hope those guys better be driving McLarens. $100, they could be making so much more money. If they sold this for like $300, it'd still be worth it. Because first of all, you don't know how to mix drums, dude, in your bedroom. So like you'd have to learn the whole thing, and then you have to think you're good for like a year, and then if you ever play with someone else, you'll realize that your mix is trash. So then you have to learn to mix with another player in mind. And then if you play with a PA, you'll be like, oh man, my mix is trash. And then when you play live, you'll be like, oh man, my mix is trash. This is all done. All that trial and error bullshit is done. And you only have to pay $100 for it. Top notch, man. So this video is sponsored by Getgood drums, guys. Use code word Sideon for 0% off. The other thing too that's so good about GGD is it's so inspiring. Like since I've been using GGD, I wrote this riff the other day. So input, that's where you put it in.
That's where you put it in.
Put
Red
Vladimir input. You can ask
So,
me that, I guess.
How do you feel about everything we just went through?
Not great. This is what Jesse does before shows, and I'm just like talking to people.
It's gonna be good. We're having fun.
Yeah, we're having fun.